Good morning, everyone. Today, my topic of presentation is challenges of online education for students in rural areas of Kamrup district, Assam. So, in this paper, we will discuss what are the problems relating to online mode of education in rural areas of Kamrup district and what are the necessary steps we can take. So basically the methodology which was adopted was using sample surveys. 70 samples were taken from rural areas of Assam and these were selected variably. And from this questionnaire, whatever data was gathered were represented in the present study. In the current situation, education industry is currently greatly affected by lockdown as well as COVID. Students from different areas are being affected as not being able to communicate to the school. Teaching mode has completely turned digital. Rural areas, however, was not prepared for this pandemic scenario digitally. Lack of proper internet education, internet facilities, lack of computers, technological advancement, as well as English proficiency as well as computer literacy has been causing differential gap between this rural and urban areas students. So teachers and students of rural areas have faced lots of inconvenience and our study areas is not also exception to it. Coronavirus has already affected lots of sectors, but in particularly in this paper we will discuss how our study areas is been affected and what are the prime concerns. These are basically the geographical definitions of our study area. It is located between these geo coordinates and it is surrounded by Udalguri, Baksa, Dorong, Kamrup and Gwalpara and Nalbari district. This is the map of the study area. So, amidst this global crisis, we can see that all the educational system has shifted completely towards digital. But I don't think our study states that rural areas of Kamrup as well as properly Assam was not prepared for this entire digital shift. According to the key indicators of household social consumption, we can see that only 23.8% of Indian households have internet access and only 14.9% of households have access to internet as opposed to 44% in rural areas. In rural areas, only 14.9% has internet. Only 4% of households in rural areas have access to computer facilities. Children may have difficult time committing to a particular different friend's house to get these digital facilities. And mobile network, digital literacy, computer literacy, etc. were very, very low in the study area where we have taken these samples. So from this table we can study that internet was only available to 21 samples out of the 70 samples that we have taken. That is 30% of the total. Laptops were not available to 59 of the students. That is 84%. They either you borrow a neighbor's laptop or somebody else's, or they either do this online training via smartphones. Smartphones were not available to 22% of the samples. Computer literacy, that is, they did not know how to use this online Zoom apps and other modes of communications. This percentage was a huge percentage, which was 82%. English proficiency was less mostly in the Assamese medium students, which were 44%. Secondly, these are the problems faced by the students of rural areas, which is represented in this graph. So we can see that 70% of the students have access to internet, 16% students have access to laptop, while 84% did not own any laptop or desktop. 23% of the sample surveys were unable to buy smartphone because of taking these classes. Because of this COVID, they were lagging. A lot of financial problems were there, vice versa. 82% of students were not well versed with computer literacy and 44% faced problems because of English proficiency. How these problems can be mitigated? Firstly, we can digital campaign should be emphasized on. Online training mode should be well prepared beforehand, and the head of the institution could give a brief training to the students, parents, as well as teachers regarding this. Online classes should be well organized. Free internet facilities in the form of data packs or broadband or bandwidth should be organized by the government. Teachers should give students a brief idea how to use these technologies, and e-learning courses and apps should be designed easy to use. Government officials should be concerned about this problem, as because this problem needs to be taken seriously because students are suffering for this. And power supply, lack of proper power, electricity, and vice versa should be mitigated. Parents should also get the basic training to operate these things. Lastly, we can say that online instruments can be personalized, and this can be made affordable. Public and private agencies and non-profit organizations should use free applications for students, and free notes and materials should be launched. Finally, we can request our government to promote the bandwidth with increased better data and bandwidth in rural areas of Assam. Sports students which are unable to afford technology should be given some compensation for getting these technologies. Teachers must connect to the parents of the lower classes, and they should not be debarred from education just because they are not able to afford some things. And this gap should be mitigated by ourselves. Poor and vulnerable and disadvantaged citizens should be helped by each and every one of us to so that no children are devoid of education. Thank you.